one of the big questions I keep getting asked in emails and just in interactions with people is they want to know about royalties, how royalties are paid. So today I'm gonna shed some light, give you some insight into how royalties are paid. First off, I want to tell you, pretty much all the online ebook sellers, they charge you nothing to publish your book. So it's free to publish. That's a big thing. And they only take their cut when your book sells. So, it doesn't cost you anything to put your book up. And every time there's a sale, that's when they take their cut. So there's nothing up front, nothing out of your pocket. It's a nice little model. Currently, for the three major ebook sellers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple, here's the royalty. Amazon and the Amazon Kindle takes 30%. You get 70%. Barnes & Noble also takes 30%, so the author gets 70%. And Apple takes 35%, so you get 65%. Still amazing. Now, compare this to the old dinosaur, the traditional publishing model. And I mean, good writer, got an agent, fortunate enough to get published and have your book published by the big guys, Random, Bantam, Simon Schuster. As a published author, you'd get around, more than likely, about 8% of what's called net sales. And I emphasize the word net because what net happens to be is it takes the gross sale and it's less returns, less refunds, less any of your advance, and then you get your cut. So, and it's on the wholesale price, not the retail price. So, so that's kind of how the old traditional model worked. And believe it or not, I'm actually still a fan of the traditional publishing model in many cases. They know what they're doing. They can put their marketing muscle behind a lot of authors. They have PR. If you're in if you fit their model, especially for fiction, and a lot of times, there's no. I'm not a hater on the old dinosaur, but it is an old dinosaur, and the good ones, the good traditional publishing houses, the forward-thinking ones, are actually making the shift to ebooks and ePublishing, and some might get caught. Just like Borders now is bankrupt and extinct, and Barnes & Noble looks like they're going to make it. So that's kind of the same analogy. So but the interesting thing about it is the traditional publisher had to pay upfront costs, creating, designing, printing, inventorying all these books, and then your profits came out of the back end after that. But look, the playing field's now been leveled, if anything, tilted now towards ebooks. And I don't really like the word self-publishing at all, because in the old days, in print publishing, that had a bad meaning. It meant you were a bad, struggling author, self-published, couldn't get picked up. So the best part of ePublishing, you control it. You get the majority, you get the major share of the royalty, 65 to 70% of all sales. That's massive. Compare that to the 8% in the traditional model. And now it's up to the readers. It's not up to an authority figure in New York City to decide if you're good or not. It's not the publishers who are in charge. The readers are in charge. And if you put out something good, you put out something that finds an audience, you put out something that's interesting, you've already done a lot to have some success there. So you get to control everything. You control the market, what you sell your book at, and how people find you. So, the biggest thing I want to say again, remember, is there's no upfront costs, and it's free to publish. So I hope you learned a lot today. I encourage you to learn more. There's great resources out there, including you can go to www.patmixon.com. There's a lot more information on my website. When you're there, don't forget to sign up for my mailing list so you can stay current with what I've got going on. You can always find me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook.